Hello again. Hey, Fire Agate Mark here. How's it going? I want to say thanks, a special thanks to Cutting Edge Supply Company. Um, they've been helping me out, providing some sintered bits, brushes, polishes. Not to mention they carry cab kings, trim saws, grinders, um, everything you can imagine to get your stones done from beginning to end, and a lot of different types of stone as well. Um, Make sure you mention promo code MARK during checkout and get an extra 5% off. Um, I just want to thank all the subscribers. I'm up to 4,940 last time I looked, so getting real close to 5,000 and another giveaway. I just want to say thank you for the suggestions, for new videos, um, some of the wonderful stories, people who've found carving um, to be more than a hobby, and they're actually turning out some beautiful jewelry and getting it sold in stores. I love seeing these. There's some amazing people out there that have become really close friends, and I'm really grateful. Um, Thank you, Amber J, for always. Anyway, to all my mining friends in Mexico, I want to say thank you. They're working really hard to get another second package sent out. So keep your fingers crossed, or say your prayers, or send your best luck, or whatever you're used to. That package gets here because I'm really excited about getting some more stones to carve. Um, and I just want to say that today we're going to be working on the same. It's about a dozen or so stones, and I'm switching out bits at the same time, so I'm going to use the same bit for a number of different stones. Um, Lots of water. Make sure you're wearing a visor. I like to wear an optivisor. I like to wear a respirator, little 3M number. Um, Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Stop, take frequent breaks, stretch your hands, make sure you're healthy, make sure that this is enjoyable and pleasurable. Don't push yourself too hard, because otherwise, if you start to feel pain or discomfort, it's not going to be fun anymore. So keep it interesting. I'm going to post a link from the Cutting Edge Supply company for things that I would suggest using bits. I'll go ahead and list the few different bits that I would like. There's different diamond burrs, some Nova points, some extra soft bristle brushes, and I'm going to go ahead and get you going on a starter kit. So let me go ahead and we'll get back to some carving. All right. Alrighty. Here we have a little piece of Aguas Calientes, and I just kind of wanted to zoom in a little bit so I can show you what I'm talking about when I'm seeing the different layers. Um, let's see if we can get in here. These are the different layers on the edge. You're trying to come down to a colorful layer and then get everything blended and even. The nice thing about this particular type of fire agate is usually you'll get multiple layers of brightly stacked color. So if you happen to go through one, you can usually salvage a layer and get somewhere else. At this point, I'm using the tiny 1.6 millimeter diamond burrs, and I'm going to go ahead and continue to remove some of the mud. I'm just going to continue to work through a bunch of stones at the same time. And let's see. I'm going to be switching between this 1.6 millimeter and then this inverted diamond cone, because these come in really handy to get down in the little valleys and clear everything out. Let's see. Let's get started with eeny meeny. Yeah, this one's getting real close. So this one I just had to go ahead and remove some more of the garbage, the mud out from the inside. Right here on the edge, I think I'm going to salvage a little bit of this agate, although it's super thin. This is only about 2 to 3 millimeters thin on the edge. Pardon. So if I can do it, come around the edges, define some of these bubbles, get them to be brighter so that purple pops out a little more, then I'll go ahead and keep it. Otherwise, I'm going to get rid of it. Bear with me. Normally, I like to use a constant steady drip of water, but as I get further along with the stone, and when I'm doing this up close work, more often than not, what I like to do is I like to douse the stone. So instead of using the drip, as I'm carving, I'll periodically just douse the stone, then get rid of whatever I'm working on. It allows me to create kind of a slurry in combination with the agate dust and the diamond bit that I'm using. They work together to kind of create the slurry that finishes the stone as I'm working it. So let's see. Just want to fill this up a tiny bit more. What I've done is I've rigged a bag with a valve that came from Home Depot, and let's see, it was designed for irrigation outside. And I think the whole thing, the tubing, everything, cost me about $5. And then I put it together with a little bit of Gorilla Glue, so you can kind of jerry-rig something if you don't have access to something. So again, really light pressure. I'm probably using a ½ ounce to an ounce of pressure. You can see it's not much, and I'm using about 3,000 to 5,000 RPMs. I might kick it up to 6,000 RPMs, but not much past that. I try to keep the bit moving around. I don't want it to rest in any one place for too long. Otherwise, it's going to leave tool marks, and you don't want a bunch of those. I'm basically using a little less than the weight of the handle and the tool, and that's why I kind of brace it with my thumb. It creates this barrier, so I know how much pressure I'm using. This is another reason why I suggest that you frequently stop, stretch, take breaks, ease up your hands, and give them a break. Just douse it. And so you see that I keep rotating the stone. If it's really bright, I try to stay off the color with the sintered bit. Once it's really bright, the only thing I want to use is a rubberized abrasive or some Nova Point, something to that effect. Because at that point I'm just making sure that I don't have any sharp edges, that everything kind of blends together. So you see I'm going along that inside ridge. I'm trying to define those lines, those bubbles, so that the color isn't positional. We want color that is visible from all different directions. I want to remind you, if you have any particular questions, you want to get a hold of me, you can always email me at fireagatemark@gmail.com. And I encourage you, please, to feel free to share these videos with your friends. And if you haven't already, please click subscribe and like, and go ahead and hit the notifications bar so you know when I'm putting out my other videos and when I'm doing my giveaway. See, it's pretty amazing how quickly you get work done, even with such gentle pressure and low speeds. It really does. It's still removing rock. And that's part of the thing, is you want to go slowly because you can always peel off a little more, but you won't be able to put it back if you lose it. So, when I assess the stone, this part right here seems to be colorful from multiple different angles, so I'm trying to stay off of these bubbles. I'm still kind of working the edge of this bubble just because it's still a little brown toward the inside. But I don't want to lose the purple, so just nice and gentle. Try to use the whole breadth of the tool, the entire shaft, so that it wears evenly. Once I get some more fire agate, I'll get it graded out and get a couple of parcels up on eBay for you. I like to offer everything from the choice and mid-grade to the high grade, and then if there's enough, then I will offer some of the imperial. All right. Like I said, make sure you stop and assess it, rotate it. Some of the bubbles down here coming up with a little bit more purple. And so I think that's about as much as I'm going to use this bit. Let me see. Should I move on to another stone or go ahead and finish this one? Maybe I'll do a little more on another one. That's a good example. So it gets really ghosty up here, but I'm on these mini bubbles, these little tiny micro bubbles. Let's zoom in and see if we can get those a little better. That's kind of your telltale sign. Sorry, it's out of focus. Maybe a second. That's your telltale sign that you're into the best color that's possible. So let's see, zoom out a tiny bit. My assessment is hoping that since this green wasn't as solid or consistent, I'm going to try to go past it into some brown and then back into the color again. Because I know that down here there's some purple underneath that green, so I'm hoping that it broadcasts across the stone. Also, please let me know. I want to figure out what a good giveaway prize is for reaching 5,000 people. That's kind of a big one. I was thinking of putting together a couple of stones or some tools, maybe a little of both, like a little starter package. So I really do. I welcome your suggestions. Yeah, I'm going to need a finer bit for that one. If you don't have the right tool in hand, don't worry, you're going to switch out bits enough where you'll finally come along, it'll come to you. Oh good, there's some purple coming through. Use a whiter bit for that. So let's see. So I'd say the upper end for your speed, for as many RPMs as you want to be using at this point, I'd say 8,000 RPMs is definitely the upper end of where you want to be. Again, you have more control at around 6,000 RPM. The coarser the bit, the slower you want to go. The finer the bit, the more you can raise the speed safely. As a general rule of thumb. Alright, so this looks like it's already a pretty long video. We'll be back. Thanks everyone for the subscribers that have been so loyal and who keep giving great advice. I appreciate that. Again, thank you Cutting Edge Tool Supply. Thank you Amber J, mi amor. Thank you everyone down there in Mexico. Keep going, mis compadres. Thank you for that. Anyway, I'll talk to you later, and keep coming back. So, Fire agate is my favorite stone, and I love colorful, beautiful things.